All right, so thank you so much for joining us today and for your interest in the Maryland Justice Passport Project. My name is Carrie McCulley. I am Deputy Director at Civil Justice, and we are one of the project partners that is working together to bring this technology to you. So this is a brief 10-15-minute video. I'm just going to cover what we're going to discuss today. We're going to talk a little bit about the program goals and what we're trying to accomplish with this project. To review the pilot that we're doing currently in Prince George's County, Maryland. We're going to show a brief demonstration of the technology. We're going to review our upcoming activities as well as our continued project rollout. So what we're trying to do here with this technology is we're trying to create a trauma-informed solution to help people navigate the legal services community here in Maryland. We wanted to create a technology that the user can use to create a to-do list, have a case summary summarizing their legal issue and what they're trying to find assistance with. They can keep track of all the places that they've been trying to get legal assistance. The technology can also store any relevant case documents that they have, so that it can be easily shared and securely shared with other organizations as they're trying to find assistance. And with that, we're going to toss it over to our Executive Director, Sarah Frush, to go over the pilot that we're currently doing in Prince George's County, Maryland. Sarah?
Thanks, Carrie. So I'm going to give an overview of the pilot project that we're doing for the Justice Passport. And the pilot is focused in Prince George's County, where we had a couple of service providers who are interested in partnering. Those partners are Community Legal Services of Prince George's County and the Maryland Center for Legal Assistance. And we couldn't go forward without thanking them both for really putting time and energy into this project to make the passport a better product for everybody. So the parameters of the pilot basically establish what characteristics a self-represented litigant needs to have in order for an organization to say, let's set up a passport for this person. So the first component is really that they need assistance beyond what that legal services organization can provide. So for example, someone is at the self-help center run by MCLA in Prince George's County, and they determine that this person needs additional help. That might be, or that would be one of the reasons that the self-help center says, yes, we should set up a passport. The second component is that they need to have a legal issue in Prince George's County. Again, we wanted to kind of start with a tailored pilot project with a couple of different stakeholders, and because they kind of naturally formed around Prince George's County, that's where we started. They need to be comfortable using email for one, and using some kind of technology in general, because this is powered partially through email. They need to have a working understanding of email. And then finally, they need to have kind of an interest in using technology to help them navigate the legal services delivery system. So they need to have the interest in getting a to-do list, getting links to legal information, for instance, from the People's Law Library and forms. They want to store their case documents, and they want to stay organized as they look for legal help. So far, 20 passports have been created, and those 20 passports have been created by Community Legal Services of Prince George's County, the Maryland Center for Legal Assistance, and some have also been created by our civil justice staff. What we've been doing through this process of creating the initial passports is really trying to streamline how we're creating the passports to make it more efficient to set them up. So one example of how we streamline the process is initially, a legal services organization staff, if they wanted to refer to civil justice, would need to check Civil Justice Inc. into, or type Civil Justice Inc. into the referral box. Instead of doing that now, Joseph and his team have, you basically have a list that you can click on and quickly select which organizations you want to send someone to. And on Joseph and the HUJ Tech, and they create that information for the litigant's passport. So as with everything in life right now, adjustments in our program needed to be made due to COVID. One thing is that we really expected back in February that we would have a lot of volume being driven by walk-in services, so that, for example, legal services organizations would be seeing a lot of people in person that needed to have a passport set up. There would be warm handoffs of paperwork going on, and with COVID and the court's limited operations, that volume really went away. So what we've set up instead is that residents of Prince George's County can actually sign up on their own now, and referrals are included in their passport based on their legal issue. So if you go to mdjusticepassport.org, you'll see that if you are a person in Prince George's County looking for legal help, you can set up your own passport. Another thing that we have done through the pilot is fine-tune communications. So when the passport was first launched and someone signed up, or a legal services organization signed them up, they were sent an email. And we were finding that some people were not signing into their passport. They weren't clicking the link in their email. What Joseph and his team did was they have set up technology so that in addition to the email, litigants also receive a text message along with the email, and they can click right on their phone to start setting up their passport. And that's it for me. I will turn it over to Joseph.
Okay, thanks, Sarah. I'll give you a quick demonstration of how an organization sets up a passport. Oops, I went too fast. Okay, so first, the legal service organization will fill out a form, and we've tried to make this form as efficient as we can, and so I'll give you a quick example of that. So let's say that I work for civil justice. I click my organization. I click set up new passport. I put in an email address. And let's say the person is okay to give text messages. I need to make sure to ask them that. And it's yes, 3, 2, 3. I'll put in a case summary. Litigant needs help with visitation rights. And I may add a bit more than that, but for the sake of time, we'll just go with that. And let's say I think that Maryland Legal Aid and the Prince George's County Bar Association would be a good fit for this situation. So I'll select those two. If you have documents from the litigant, you can add them here. As Sarah said, this was more conceived with the thought of a self-help center person receiving those documents at the self-help center, and then they could add those. But even if we're doing things over chat or phone, there may be something you could add. Also, we have seen some organizations add in template forms that the litigant can use. You can then add tasks. So click here, you can add a task. And then if they have a court date or particular event, you can add that there, and then just click submit. So that is how that works. Then the litigant receives an email and a text message. You can see the examples here. We do have a proper disclaimer so that the litigant knows that the administration team, the A2J Tech team, does have access to this platform. So we want to be very forthright as far as confidentiality and privacy. And then you can see the text message that the litigant receives. So your passport has been set up. It includes a case summary and referrals to organizations that may be able to assist you. And then here's the special link that gets them in for the first time. And you can see here, we try to improve this every week. So this week, what we did is added a bit more information around what they'll get in their passport, so that they understand that this is their next step to be able to contact organizations. And then the litigant logs in and they'll see a case summary. So they could click here to case summary. They'll see their tasks. In this particular example, they needed to find the defendant. They'll get referrals, and they'll also get legal information. So in this example, they had some forms that the Self-Help Center added to the person's passport. Next, let's talk about upcoming activities. So first is litigant feedback. We're going to be doing text message surveys. We found that's a good way to contact people and to see what their experience is like with the passport, and then also doing focus groups. We also are doing direct outreach to litigants that have signed up for the passport. So I talked to 5 litigants earlier this week to just have a plain conversation of, were you able to get legal help? Did you have any questions about how the passport works? And that informal discussion is also really valuable. Next, we're going to be making, did I go too fast? No, okay. Next, we're going to be making website updates, adding an FAQs page, a features page, and also a knowledge base. So similar to how you may use a software program where it has a knowledge base and help section, we'll be creating something like that for litigants so that if they have questions about how to navigate their passport, we'll have screenshots and examples. Next, we're working on temporary access for legal services providers. So as more passports are created, there will be litigants coming to organizations saying, I have this Maryland Justice Passport. So we want those organizations to be able to see that information. Because of privacy concerns and confidentiality, we don't want to give access to them that is permanent or even something that's not automatically turned off. So we'll be using a 4-digit code and assigning that to each person at legal service organizations that is involved in the project. And then the way the litigant can give access to an attorney or intake staff is through that 4-digit code. Then the access will be automatically removed after 2 hours. So that removes a lot of concern around privacy and someone having access to a passport that they no longer should have access to. And here's how this works. And I'll take a drink real quick. Okay, so we have 3 swim lanes. We have the activity, the automated process, and then some screenshots. So the litigant logs into their passport and they click share. You can see what this would look like here. The litigant clicks share passport. Then the litigant enters the 4-digit code, and you can see that here. On the back end, from a system perspective, that 2-hour access timer starts. The attorney is added, and then they're automatically removed after 2 hours. The attorney can then review the information and add information to it. And then they can log out when they're finished, but if they somehow don't remember to log out or keep that tab open, when they go and click in that passport again after 2 hours, it will say access is denied. Okay, now I'll pass it over to Carrie to wrap it up and talk about continued project rollout.
Thanks, Joseph. So when we initially came up with this project and thought about this technology, we always wanted it to be a statewide project. So as Sarah discussed, the pilot's taking place in Prince George's County, but we do want to desperately expand this program because we really do find it would be very beneficial for anyone across the state. Maryland is a very unique state in the fact that we've got rural areas and we have metropolitan areas. So there's a little bit of best of both worlds, if you will. So really, we think anyone could benefit from this technology. So we are definitely looking for organizations who are located in other counties or areas other than Prince George's who would be interested in participating in this. So it's very important that we get different perspectives as well as from the other legal service organizations and other users. So we can really get an understanding of what works, what doesn't work, what their feedback is really quite valuable. So if you are interested in, if you're a legal service organization and you're interested in wanting to participate in this project, please feel free to give us a call. Reach out to myself or to Sarah, and our contact information is on the slide. You can also reach out to Joseph at A2 Tech Store, and we'll be glad to talk to you about our project.